let's do this. Let's use this first and get to know each other a little bit better. My name is Russ Fitzpatrick. I am the executive director of the Hero Benefits Network. And I gave you my cell phone number, 954-695-2314. You could reach out to me for anything. Always encourage you to text first if it's at all possible. Just makes my life easier. If I'm already in a meeting, I can respond to your inquiry via text and then give you a call right away if something should come up that needs my immediate attention. But we started to talk about this the other night when we met at your office. And I'll just tell you a couple of personal things to get this orientation started. My father was a police officer. My brother was a Marine who died in combat, and my wife was a school teacher. And we started the Law Enforcement Appreciation Program simply by giving back 20% of our gross commission to police officers back in 1990. And it expanded to become a firefighter program. It even expanded to become a teacher program. And then we added other essential employees and first responders to the mix. So welcome to our family. This is called our Letters for Leaders program. Letters for Leaders. I'm going to close that down just so you can't see it. If you write down Letters for Leaders, I will tell you after almost 40 years of doing this, there's nothing more effective for your production than our Letters for Leaders program. Now, I'm a Mike Ferry cold call cowboy from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, which means I made my living smiling and dialing in residential real estate. I was a top listing agent for 30 years. You know, I was always listing 6, 10, 12 homes a month. But I was doing that with expired listings, for sale by owners, absentee owners. I was doing tremendous work in geographic farming. And all of those sources of business were rigorous. You know, you had to smile and dial, smile and dial. And I used like those programs like Vulcan 7 or Mojo. Some people call it Moho, but I think it's called Mojo. And we would smile and dial for a lot of our business. But a sector of our business was sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning as soon as we stated to the law enforcement officers, as soon as we stated vigorously to the teachers and firefighters what we were doing, they embraced us and marketed us to their employees. So write down the word Letters for Leaders. It is a big part of our marketing proposition for you. And I could show you if I left the room, I would go into my other office and I would show you that I've got Letters for Leaders on my desk right now, because I help perpetuate the brand Hero Benefits Network. So Letters for Leaders is one of the most important ways you can participate with the Hero Benefits Network. So imagine you had a chief of police that believed in you. Then all of a sudden you have banner ads on his website. You have what they refer to as intranet access. You have access to intranet banner ads and comments. And you've got this new, wholly genuine sales funnel that is built to really support you. If you look at this sales funnel, when the essential employee comes in to the top of the funnel, they are going to be registered at Hero Benefits Network. And I'm going to show you this process in great detail today. I don't think we need more than 45 minutes or maybe half hour, 45 minutes, but you're the front line after they've been registered. So your office is the exclusive territory holder for the eastern side of New Jersey. So you have real estate agents providing coverage. You're able to refer to any mortgage banker you want to, but if the Hero uses an in-network mortgage banker, which right now we've got Cross Country, we've got PRMG, we've got Annie Mac Home Mortgage, we've got a relationship with OVM. So we've got a ton of mortgage bankers that are in network that have agreed to our rebates and incentives. And I think that your brokerage is nominating, I think it's Bob Faust, if I'm not mistaken, to potentially become your mortgage fulfillment center. And then surety title. is our statewide exclusive partner in New Jersey. So they have the ability to do all the title fulfillment, including helping out with understanding how our referral fees and how our rebates work. And then we go to funding. And if you've ever met a realtor, funding is the happiest day of the year. So we go ahead and get our funding. And then most times you'll make your donation following that funding, send the money to the Hero Benefits Network, and then we will fund the grant, and that will go back to the heroes. So I'm going to show you a lot of details about that in just a few minutes. But the most important thing that I've learned is these golden handcuffs or these golden guardrails on the sales funnel. I've used sales funnel technology my whole life, including a long-standing relationship with the guys that created KV Core. But it's difficult to keep a customer loyal. It's one thing to have all the technology and all the CRM and all the value proposition and the beautiful branding that Berkshire Hathaway provides. But when you've got a little bit of a barb on the hook, think about that for just a moment. When you've got that little teeny barb on the hook, which is called a rebate, an incentive, or a down payment assistance grant. You know, it's that little something special for special people that keep them ultra loyal and ultra committed to this actual sales funnel. So between you and me, just talking turkey, if I'm the agent, then sometimes I hand the deal off to a mortgage banker who I don't have a relationship with, and then they steer them to some other damn realtor, or they're back on Zillow shopping and they're out there telling, going out and finding other ways to circumvent the original relationship, or maybe they just fired their real estate agent and moved on to another one. But we know that buyer brokerage agreement helps the relationship towards a successful sales funnel. But I don't think anything in the business does as much to keep a law enforcement officer loyal to our realtors, mortgage bankers, and title companies than these rebates. So remember the word letters for leaders, and understand that the most important tool in the Hero Benefits Network is you. I can't write letters to all the leaders in New Jersey, and I can't manage a national audience of heroes without your feet on the street. So my goal for you is that you would have 10, 15, 20 leaders in the community that are aware of the Hero Benefits Network and working with you to promote it. So I'm going to go over to our website now and start to really break down the how-tos, what-tos, and why-tos. If you just Google search Hero Benefits Network, you're going to get three primary links, right? The first one is herobenefitsnetwork.org. And I'm going to tell you that that's your primary spot. The only place you got to go is herobenefitsnetwork.org, because herobenefitsnetwork.org is facing our realtors, it is facing our title companies, and it is facing our mortgage bankers. It is a fundraising website. It's built to attract more realtors in different markets, and more title companies, and more mortgage bankers. This site here, herobenefitsnetwork.org, that is our hero-facing site. So you've got the opportunity to absolutely just kind of understand the lay of the land. And then the last thing I want to tell you, look, I only have a measly 800 followers, right? And on Instagram, I've only got 60 followers. So what you have to understand is you are the center point of our social media promotions. Now that you're a member, and we're only a 1.5 year old organization. I've been doing this for 40 years, but the nonprofit Hero Benefits Network brand is only 18 months old. So we have an opportunity through you and with you to express the intentions of our network through social media. And I only had you write down one thing so far, and that was letters to leaders. Letters to leaders is going to be the most important marketing position you can take. But the second most important thing you can do is right underneath letters for leaders, I would write down follow Hero Benefits Network, um, comment on Hero Benefits Network posts, because that's going to proliferate your local market. When you comment and you share, that's going to create the centrifuge. And if you see where we have coverage, you'll see title companies, mortgage companies, real estate companies, the heroes directly will respond. But we need you on the grassroots level to follow us on social media. And I'm not leaving this point until I make it. You've got to. You're making a huge commitment here to the network, so you might as well individually follow us. You got to individually like our posts. If you see posts that make sense to you and excite you about our network, like it, and then hit the share button so that goes on to your personal sphere of influence and your locals. And that's just going to do nothing but elevate your credibility. So maybe this time next year I'll have 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 followers and a hell of a bigger. But I think we just started this Instagram about 2 weeks ago, so you get the idea. Now you say, wait a minute, Russ, I've got to go out and send letters to leaders. That's what you're telling me I should do. But what do I do when I get a leader? And this is where we really shine. Okay, we go right here to Hero Consultations. Okay, you hit the Hero Consultation button, and you'll find out who you like better. Randy is a connection expert, and he does a formidable job with the hero leaders. You can book a time with Randy to meet with your hero leader. You just go into your portal and you book a hero consultation. Book a time with Russ. Now, if it opens up in a prompt manner, you'll be able to see you can book a meeting with me any day of the week, and there's plenty of times available. And that's the same case for Randy. Okay, you can book appointment for any number of reasons that you wish to. And I already gave you my cell phone number, so you've got access to my cell phone number. So remember, letters to leaders is followed by booking a hero consultation. Now I'm going to play out this scenario in real life. I send out 20 letters a week, handwritten. I handwrite my letters to the leaders so that there's some blue ink on the outside of the envelope. I wish I could show you my letters. I didn't bring them in here, but handwritten letters to the chief, to the fire station, to the fire union, to the teachers, parent-teacher association. And we give you what's called a target list. We give you a target list of who to send those letters to. And when they get a consultation, I've done probably 30 consultations in the last few months, and I've not had not one consultation with a leader not go well. I mean, every single leader that's in the hero sector, the essential employee relocation sector, or or certainly in the first responder sector, has responded very, very positively to these presentations, including taking on a perk plans program, including taking on a Hero Benefits Network banner situation. And now I'm going to show you step 3. Here's step 3. Let me just see if it goes. I'm going to have to use this. Let's go to important documents. Here's step 3. Remember I said letters for leaders was number 1. Number 2 was like us, follow us, share our posts on social media. And that's not a selfish act on my part. That is you demonstrating your commitment to the Hero Benefits Network. But now look at this. This document, and I hope this does this justice, this document is called a Strategic Alliance Agreement. Now, what we find is that when the police officer, the chief of police, meets with us, and they sit down with Randy or I for an hour, half hour, they're willing to fill out this form. And I'm going to show you why this form is so important right here. How many employees do you have? 676. Will you provide us an email list to market to your 676 employees? Yes or no? Should we build a marketing campaign that you as the chief of police will send out on our behalf? Yes. What category of hero is this? This is a law enforcement, firefighters. And you could see that this is a marketing forward initiative. In other words, until we make those heroes aware of your commitment to serve them, we won't have much business to speak of. Would you like me to set up a financial wellness webinar for your firefighters, for your teachers? Yes or no? And then this was mine. I added this to it because Randy was afraid that if we promoted our alliances that they would be upset with us. So I said, no, ask them if it's okay to promote the NFL alumni, the Fallen Firefighters Association, the New Jersey Firefighters Union has joined Hero Benefits Network, because it is my goal. I don't know if this will permeate this early in our relationship, but it's my goal to have the tail wag the dog. We want the consumer to come to Hero Benefits Network before they go to Zillow, before they go to Realtor.com, before they go to talk to their own mortgage banker, so that, with these types of strategic alliances built into our platform, where the most recently the New Jersey State Troopers, Superior State Troopers organization has agreed to a strategic alliance. Now we have this mini farm, and you guys have used the term farm area before, right? But in our farm area, when we do a geographic farm area, we typically have to spend countless dollars on marketing and farming that community. But if they give you access to the email addresses, and the Highway Patrol in New Jersey just gave us a text database, all of the text access to their highway patrolmen was given to us. So now we have multiple channels to reach out to these heroes. And so I went to important documents to show you the strategic alliance agreement, only to summarize this. Step 1, letters to leaders. If you want to get involved, I'm going to show you where those letters are. Step 2, hero consultation, right? Just hero consultation. Just go right there and book a time, because we'll do the consultation. You do not have to do the consultation. Once you've done a couple, you may want to lead your own consultations and not have us participate. But in the beginning, if you want us there, we're there with you. You can book a time with Randy, or you can book a time with Russ. They're the exact same consultation. And then make sure you have a printed strategic alliance agreement when you go into that appointment, because that guy, the president of the Veterans of Foreign War, the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, the president of the union, these are the folks that are going to drive your, what we're going to call an affinity farm, your affinity farm area. You've got a farm area where you're providing affinity benefits. Now, I'm going to go down here. This is a little caveat. I'm going to do this real quick because this is trying to give you enough that you'll be dangerous. So what I did is I built an Excel spreadsheet of all of the leaders in my area. So I went out and did the research. It's so easy, guys. On Google, just put in, who's the fire chief at Fort Lauderdale PD? Who's the fire chief at LBI? Who's the fire chief? They'll tell you county, state, and city fire chiefs, county, state, and city police officers. And we provided you this template that you can fill in if you don't have the ability to create your own Excel spreadsheet. Now we're going to go down a little further. I'm going to show you a couple more things. Remember I told you we'd give you a kind of a driver's instruction manual. The task sheets are sort of a roadmap for you to be able to maximize the value of your position in the network. So I am not going to go through this. It's too deep in to cover in this environment. But if you go to important documents, you can download the network task sheet. Next, so many Karens. I'm going to open up a little section called Karen's Corner because, number one, it's unfamiliar territory for a lot of people. But then some people are just nervous and anxious about every little thing. But What we did for you is we provided all of the Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, tax exempt, and government information in one place. Because some of our broker owners across the country, I'm not calling them Karens, but some of them are afraid to pay money to us. Like they're saying, no, I can't pay a commission to you guys. I can't send a commission check to this entity. And I'm showing them in writing that we can accept donations from any entity. We can accept donations from a real estate brokerage after closing. We can accept donations from a mortgage banker after closing. We can accept title and escrow contributions absolutely legally. And it's because of that public charity status 170B1A. That is the right to accept contributions. Now, you've heard somebody say this in the past. Proud sponsor of the Hero Benefits Network. Or you might have heard someone say, we're the exclusive partner of the Hero Benefits Network. You've heard it with the NFL, exclusive moving partner of the NFL, or exclusive, this, that, or another thing. Now, if you adopted a normal charity that you've heard of before, like Habitats for Humanity, you would certainly feel comfortable making a donation to them at any time in the transaction. You could make a donation of 20% of your gross commission. You can make a donation of more percentage of your commission as a donation. But because so many, I'll just call it Karen again, there's certain brokerages that are too nervous to write that check to us. Okay. So what we did is we gave them, number one, we gave you a step-by-step sort of instructions, right? And now watch this. You can sign a referral agreement with our licensed brokerage so that you don't have to make a donation to HBN. Now, Sarah's on the call, so I'm going to make sure I'm clear here. We don't need you to do a referral agreement. We trust you, okay? If you're a part of the program and you're committing 25% of gross commission as a donation, it's a donation, for goodness sakes. This is not a litigious fight we want to have with you. We're all in the same relationship together trying to serve these heroes. So this 25% referral fee is a standard donation from you. So think of it like a donation pledge. You're just pledging 25% of the gross commission to Hero Benefits Network. But if your brokerage, if your entity, the organization itself, really wants to formally document the agent's commitment to this 25% referral fee, have every agent sign a referral agreement before or during their transaction or at the first substantive contact of their transaction. I've been a broker for 30 years, okay? So if my fear is that my agent's going to complain after I reduce the 25% from them, then get the agent to sign a referral agreement so that you're protected at the brokerage level. But we don't need a referral agreement from you guys, okay? We don't have to have a referral agreement for you to make a 25% donation to Hero Benefits Network. As you go down, and again, this is under the important documents. It's a 25% referral agreement that your agents can sign at the onset of a transaction. Our non-paying members pay either 30 or 35% referral fees. So sometimes when we have a hero reach out to us and there's no coverage in a community, we'll send a 35% referral fee agreement and we'll get the hero's rebate that way. And again, these are only here for people who feel most comfortable with traditional referral agreements with W-9s and all that stuff. So I hope this makes sense. I opened the nonprofit to avoid confusion, to have a 501c3 that you could make a donation to. But what I ended up with was some nervous compliance people who said, I can't make a donation to the Hero Benefits Network. It's not compliant. So I went ahead and opened a licensed real estate brokerage. And that real estate brokerage can receive those referral fees. So you don't have to worry about compliance. But as we get to know each other better, and certainly over time, you're going to realize that a 501c3 can accept can accept those donations without regard. So there's no problem there. Now we've done 3 steps. We've done letters to leaders. We've done hero consultation to make sure that you could book a consult with us anytime you want to. I briefly showed you our process, and I know Sarah just got an email yesterday from Carrie that was extremely extensive, and it went into these steps ad nauseum. But essentially, as an agent, got to register my hero. I've got to estimate the benefits to my hero. Go ahead and make my calculations to make the estimate. I like number 3 and number 4 the best. I really do. I think number 3 and number 4 are the most important parts of our process. The hero can use any vendor they want. You have to let them know that. But if they choose a mortgage banker or a title company outside network, then the estimates that we made would be reduced. So we don't require them to use our in-network mortgage or title companies, but if they want the benefit of the total package of the Hero Benefits Network, they've got to. So I tell that to my heroes right up front. And if the rate doesn't make you happy, or if the pricing at the title company is out of whack, you can change title companies. But I can assure you, after 37 years of doing business, we wouldn't even keep a mortgage banker in the system if we were having problems like that. So number 4 is my second most important. Some loan products, you got to understand this, guys. Some loan products, especially government loan product, government insured loans like FHA, VA, USDA, some of the other grant and donation platforms have a limit, and they don't allow you to give more money back to the hero. Okay? So you can't do that $1,000 lender credit from the mortgage banker. You can't do the $500 from the title company. And maybe even you, in your experience, don't feel comfortable making a charitable donation to this hero. Well, I've learned this, okay? I've been doing this for 37 years. You can send us the money. Your real estate brokerage can send us the money. The mortgage banker can send us the money, and the title company can send us the money. And if there's non-allowables or some reason that the hero can't receive those funds, it was dictated by mortgage guidelines or it was dictated by an underwriter. We've been 5 days before closing where the hero was trying to explain, or the loan officer was trying to explain to the underwriter why he had an extra $5,000 or an extra $7,000. Well, if the underwriter kicks that back as non-allowable, then send us the money. We'll process the donation, and then whenever allowable by law, the hero will receive it about a week later, about a week after closing. And that's actually the way that I like to do it anyway. If I had a perfect world, everybody would just mail the monies to Hero Benefits Network, and then we would send the checks directly out to the hero. That's the way it works most efficiently. And I don't know if I even have my camera on, but we get these checks 6-8 times a day now. This one's for $2,856. We have to process this check and send it off to the hero. We get credits from mortgage bankers every day. Now, number 5, use the voucher template. There is a voucher template in your marketing portal. I just like the feeling of giving the hero a voucher. It says, hey, we're not closed yet, but you have an estimate for the amount of money you're going to get. And that's going to allow you to maybe have a little more of a comfort zone in your purchase. Number 6, go out and show property or take the listing. Now, number 7, whenever you get them under contract, you're in perfect shape. You've got them under contract. You've got the listing sold. Now you go back into your portal. I'm going to go ahead and do this for you. Go back into your portal and go to Deal Funding Report. This is the last step in the equation. Now you guys are territory owners. This is if we refer to somebody who's not in the network and they're having to do a deal that we referred to them, or that they did a hero deal and they wanted to do the rebate, but they're not a member of our network, so they're out of network. And we have to do that because the country is really, really large. So we have to have some out of network relationships as well. But eventually we'll have coverage. Um, I I think Sarah will appreciate this the most if she's the administrator on the brokerage. Um, every realtor I know, oh, well, not every, but a large percentage of the realtors I know have a little hint of ADD. They move really quick, and they're not always the dot their I, cross their T type folks. Some of them are, but if you ever study DISC personality profile, you find that the D's and the I's, the D's and the I's attracted to sales and real estate, and the S's and the C's are attracted to operations and admin. So what we have is a conflict between our realtors who are sales oriented and our admins, right? That's just a natural potential conflict. So what I'm trying to say here is that we've got to corral our real estate professionals to take this one 20-minute step at the end before the deal funds. And if you processed as many checks and as many hero deals as we did, you'd know that if one of these fields wasn't filled in, oh, we're dead in the water. We have to start over and call you guys and ask for help and beg. So yes, every time I look at this, I shudder to think how many fields there are. I don't want this many fields. But if we don't know who the MLO is, even if he's not in network, we need to know about it, right? Now look down here. It says, I'm going to show you one little thing. You're going to fill in all these fields on the deal funding report. And then look at this one. Is this a cash or financed deal? If it's cash, it'll close off some of the, well, it's supposed to. That's supposed to close off the MLO one, but it just didn't do it right now. But you get the idea. There's the MLO. I'm trying it again because I'm frustrated. Let me see. Is this cash or finance? I'm going to go to finance. And I'm going to go back to cash. Well, those fields collapse when it's cash. I've seen it happen a million times. Title partner's email, title partner's phone number. Is the title partner with HBN? Yes. Surety title, right? And on yours, we could fill in surety title here for you if that helps. We can make sure that in your portal surety is already filled in. But then we go to the property. We need the information on the property, where it's at, what was the sale price, and what was your gross commission earned. You know what that number means. And then help us calculate. That just shows you where the money goes. The realtor's contribution to the Hero Benefits Network is 5%, and the realtor's contribution to the Hero Reward is 20%, like Randy said the other night. What is your estimated closing date? And how would you prefer your Hero Reward to be sent? We do checks estimated 3 to 10 days. That's the number one way. Every once in a while, somebody wants it wired, which we can do, but there's a little fee for that. And then every once in a while, there's somebody who wants to get this cute little Hero Benefits Network MasterCard, which is a cute idea, but I don't really care for the idea because, while it sounds like a neat thing, I'd really rather have the Hero just get a check because inadvertently, you don't spend 100% of your MasterCard. You know, gift cards are notoriously profitable for people who don't use all of the money on the gift card. So we need you to, or we should probably just recommend everybody to do a check. So we just send a check out to the Hero. I'm sure there's some questions that are coming up from this, but I'm going to keep on going because I have a couple things left that I want to talk to you about. We just covered what I think is admin, and the only summary that might be upsetting to a new member is this conflict between whether you need a referral fee or not. Whether you need a referral agreement or not. We do not require a referral agreement to be made because this is a pledged donation. This is a olive branch goodwill gesture from your brokerage to the Hero. So we're just facilitating that which you've already volunteered to pledge. if you, in the management of your agents and in the transactional management, feel like it would be more efficient and a little bit more operationally sound, you can absolutely do the standard referral fee to our licensed brokerage. You don't have to make it as a donation to us. But I think that's the only area that's a little gray to some people. And the only reason I even put the referral agreements in there is for that reason, that the extra fastidious administrative brokerage management side has a more tangible way of documenting these referral fees that are going to be taken out of the gross commission. So I hope I covered that enough for you. But again, I gave my cell phone number, 954-695-2314. And I also, you have a ticketing system. So let's go back into marketing materials real quick. I want to show you marketing materials. And I started to do this the other night with you guys, but I was given a short amount of time. So the first thing I want to show you is all the different types of logos that you can download to your computer. Now, this is black and white, so you could see there's a white lettering under there, but horizontal, we've got a stroke version, we've got a square version, so there's no problem. You could find logos, right, to put on your banner ads. We've got 3 different business cards, and you can customize these business cards in Canva. We don't have a set of rules about what you're allowed or not allowed to put on your business card. So maybe you just want to put this business card on the back of your standard business card, or maybe you don't want to use business card. That's completely up to you. Horizontal template for banner ads. This is just a template. If somebody wants to throw a banner ad up, you can do that. Maybe some of your local vendors would even put your banner ad up. I've got local vendors in Franklin, North Carolina that put my materials in their stores. Certified to serve our nation's heroes. That's a vertical banner ad, and it does pull a lot of inquiries off of the firefighters union site. Or if you're ever going to go visit a school, I would keep these in your car. I would keep these in a little file in your car, because you never know when you're going to see a hero. You never know when you're going to meet a cop or a firefighter. And it's really important that you hold some of these marketing materials on your person so that you can show them how much. And I'm going to tell you, after doing this for 37 years, the most valuable marketing piece is called letters to leaders. And including these vouchers in your letters to leaders is going to get you the most bang for your buck. So if you're talking about a VFW, if you're talking about American Legion, if you're talking about a military base leader, get your coupon templates, because they're going to go really well with your letters to leaders document, your letters to leaders campaign. And I could see somebody on this line taking initiative with letters to leaders and then locking up a few of those coveted relationships, those coveted affinity farm areas. So I've got the school board, or I've got the hospital district, or I've got the fire station, and all the multiple. Now you can edit this any way you want. We even give you a blank letterhead if you want to write something different. There's nothing prohibiting you from telling your message your way. I do want to point this out. If you're a social media influencer, we provide you 10 visual memes to post on social media for each category. So you say only 10? Yeah, only 10 per category, and there's 9 categories. So there's 90 different social media memes. There's social media memes for healthcare workers. There's social media memes for EMS workers, EMT. There's a whole kit and caboodle for law enforcement officers. So remember, you've got the coupons branded to law enforcement officers, and you've got the letters to leader program branded to law enforcement officers. So there's multiple touches. Oh, and also we took all the flyers and branded them as well. So you've got an opportunity to see cops and firefighters everywhere. I'll tell you a little trick of the trade I've learned that seems to work well for me. Handwritten notes. Of course, if I see this affinity farm area, I'm going to have to illustrate this verbally, but I have a affinity farm area called the Broward County Sheriff's Office. That sheriff has signed a strategic alliance agreement with me, right? So he's agreed to let me promote to him and to his officers. So now, following up with handwritten notes to those leaders and telling them the progress that's going on and keeping them abreast of the fact that the program is doing well, I would like to touch my Letters for Leaders program once a month. I don't want a month to go by without me talking to the leader of the sheriff's department, because this is your affinity farm area now. You've established an exclusive relationship with the sheriff's department, so it's your job to post social media about it, to send emails to them, to send coupons to them, and this is going to replace or augment your own subdivision geographic farm area. You know, some of you guys farm subdivisions. Some of you guys have business-to-business networking like BNI or some other business-to-business networking relationships. Maybe you're involved with your church and your church becomes an affinity farm area. But what we're talking about here is essential workers and first responders that deserve a little something special in the world of residential real estate, mortgage, and title. So if that becomes a farm area for you, I will be raving fan of yours. Now I'm going to go into HBN Playbook. Remember, this is orientation, so we're just kind of giving you the lay of the land. None of these videos are very long. Okay, so HBN tracking. This one is 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Okay, so you've got the opportunity to, I'm going to get out of here. Good, back to here. So I wanted to take you back to the HBN Playbook and show you what kind of stuff is in there for you. These are 2-minute videos. This is my favorite one. It's probably 7 or 8 minutes long. Okay. What is the HBN plan for me? If you want to get to know me, you want to get to know our culture, you want to get to know who we are, what we stand for, you already got certified. Now you're in the portal and now you got to figure out how to do this business, right? That's what this is about. It's a long, little bit longer. How affinity works. You've heard the word affinity over and over. Maybe you're not that familiar with how Costco or USAA or Rocket Mortgage do their affinity relationships. So I've been a national leader in residential real estate for the past 15 years, and I do speaking engagements all over the country. And we have a lot of insight into how affinity works. And you might have an affinity relationship with a local car dealership, or you could have an affinity relationship with a BNI group. But affinity relationships are real and they do work. They do produce business. How to present HBN to heroes. Show the hero what's possible. Remember, I gave you a place where you can book consultations here. So you can go in and book a consultation. You don't need to present to a hero. We'll present to a hero. But if you ever want a tutorial on how to present or what we're going to be presenting, yeah, there it is. I'm going to, if I open it, I won't be able to close it. Shoot. Okay. I just wanted to see that one's that's a 5-minute long video. Uh-oh. Okay. So you get the idea. We have tutorial videos that are inside of the HBN Playbook, how to register your hero, free marketing materials for heroes, the difference between our .com and our, and then remember I talked about tax deductibility and how the Hero Benefits Network qualifies. We did a short video on that. And of course, we'll be adding more videos as more of you ask questions. We'll add more and more videos to support you. And then we'll probably have categories here eventually, drop-down menus, so that you can have, okay, you're interested in sales, you're interested in marketing, you're interested in how the money flows, you're interested in transactional management, whatever tutorials you need, you let us know and we'll build more tutorials. I'm going to take this away from the HBN playbook, and I'm going to go up here to key to coaching. I'm going to end my time with you in just a moment. Key to coaching is simply our way to meet once a week with our members. It's a lot of labor on our part to meet once a week, but let me just show you the 5 meetings a week. On Monday mornings, Bob Faust, for example, or our friends from Countrywide or PRMG will come to a live meeting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And that's free for our mortgage bankers to come visit. And if they can't make it, they just click on View Archive. I had a guy call me up and ask me what View Archive meant. Rather than just pushing the button, he's like, I don't know what View Archive means. So he actually called us on the phone and he said, what does View Archive mean? I said, oh, it's where the archives are, like all the on-demand past key to coaching programs. They're all here for you to access. And he said, I didn't know what archive meant. And I said, oh, wow. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of anything smaller that could have fit into that box. I couldn't think of it. On demand, maybe on demand would be good, but View Archives. Tuesday, we meet with all of our title leaders. So every single Tuesday at 10 a.m., we're meeting with Surety Title to talk about what Berkshire is doing in New Jersey, or to talk about what another real estate partner is doing in Connecticut. So your title partners can meet with us once a week. And believe you me, I'm happy to answer all questions. Obviously, if somebody asks me what archive means, I'm going to even answer that. But if your title company comes together and wants to know more about what's going on or learn from best practices, this is the place that they come. Now, check this out. I've been paid $3,000 a month by a realtor to coach them. Okay, I used to charge $36,000 a year for coaching programs with realtors, and I had I have over 90,000 realtors that I've coached in my career, all in the Annie Mac Works productivity platform. That was my baby. I also run a program called Works Partner, and all of my realtors come to coaching programs for us to teach them how to sell more real estate more efficiently and more effectively. So if that were the only value that we were going to bring to your brokerage, I think that you could probably get a few of the people in the lower 50 percentile. I want you to think about that. Now, the people in the top 20% don't need a lot of help, and they need organizational help. They need efficiency help. They need technology help, but they don't need help with deals. The lower 50% of production in your office, they're the ones that are going to need to get coached up, and they're going to need to understand what actionable activities they could be taking action on. Now, on Thursdays, every Thursday at 10 a.m., we do a certification live. And then every Friday, we're here today doing an orientation. And this one will be in the archive for you guys to review in the future. But if you want a trick, here, I'll tell you a trick. Pretty much everything in the HBN playbook answers the questions that come up about our organization. These are the questions that most people rise when they're dealing with HBN. They can't figure something or another out. So we built the HBN playbook after the orientation. If you forgot something, you're not going to remember everything that you picked up inside of HBN's original orientation. And then I guess the last thing I'll show you real quick. Not that when I go see a cop, when I go see a firefighter, when I go see a teacher, I like to bring them a coffee cup or a t-shirt. There's plenty of items in here, and it's growing every day. We've got backpacks and oh, look, greeting cards. Here's 50-piece greeting cards for, I don't know, $6 for 10 and $66 for 50, I think it is, or for 100. But you get the idea. There's note cards, t-shirts, and my favorite t-shirt, if you want to know, is the t-shirt that says Heroes Among Us. Of course, it's not on the screen right now, but essentially, there's a beautiful t-shirt called Heroes Among Us that most of our members have fallen in love with. It has the Hero Benefits Network down the sleeve, and it has the now that's a hoodie, and then we've got Heroes Among Us t-shirts and the Heroes Among Us in white in long sleeve, and we also have it in black and white. Some people like it better in black and white, but I don't want to bore you with too much merch, but you get the idea. The reason we use merch is to give the chief of police a coffee cup. It's a small investment. I think you can get a larger quantity if you ever wanted them around the office, or you wanted to build a relationship with a fire station. Bring them a bunch of coffee cups. You'll be pretty popular. So I'm going to go back to this one thing right here. Register your heroes. Sarah contacted us yesterday with your first hero transaction. Somebody had done a transaction with a hero and qualified them for this rebate, and they hadn't been previously registered. So when you go to register your hero, you can register them under military or veterans. You can register them law enforcement, firefighter. It's the same registration, but it helps us understand what category of employment they came from. If they're a government employee, if they work for a nonprofit, if they are a member of a union, they can qualify as well, because most of the unions up there are essential employees. We need to keep them going. And we learned a lot about that during COVID, didn't we? We learned that, man, if you don't have somebody to deliver the food, shit hits the fan pretty quick, right? Remember the toilet paper crisis of 2020? Well, we won't have that if we've got essential employees on time. So go to the hero facing website called herobenefits.com and just register your hero under their employment category. Once they're registered, you're free to go out and show property. You're free to take the listing as usual. Only in the case if it's going to be a brokerage level policy, you have to sign a referral agreement. But as far as we're concerned at Hero Benefits Network, just send us the donation after closing and we'll process it for you. So, Sarah, you have my phone number. It's 954-695-2314. I give that out to everybody freely, just asking you as a favor to text me first if you ever need to talk something through, and I'm happy to respond to a text. And keep an eye on the playbook, because we're going to be growing this HBN playbook over time. Any questions that come up from you will go into the HBN playbook as well. So enough said for me. That was a longer orientation than I wanted it to be. I'm going to put on my Hero Benefits Network hat. I don't even know if I'm on screen, but if I am, that is my Hero Benefits Network hat, and I'm excited to be here with you. In closing, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Our heroes, thank you. Our first responders, thank you. Our teachers, thank you. Our firefighters, thank you. And I just can't thank you enough for your commitment to the Hero Benefits Network. So I'm always available to support you, and I'm always available to answer questions and keep the party moving forward. So thanks so much for being on, and we'll call this your first orientation. Thanks very much. Oh, there it is. All right, I'm going to leave the meeting unless anybody's got any other questions.